Someone asked for examples of how I expose anti-Zionist libel in the comments of my social media posts. So let's do it. First of all, you should be following these accounts. Movement Against Anti-Zionism, in particular, check out their stories. Frequently, they'll post examples of troll, hater, bot-like anti-Zionist libels, and not necessarily their responses, but they'll call out, like in brackets, this is what they're doing. See what they're doing? Okay. For the other accounts that I threw up on the screen, check out their feeds and stories. But their main feeds, they have great examples that you might want to screenshot and use as visual responses to your haters. That's something you can do on TikTok. As of the date I'm posting this, you can't do that on Instagram right now. Now remember, you do you. If you are not comfortable responding to comments, you don't have to. If you want to turn comments off, that's a great solution for you. What motivates me is not engaging with the haters, bots, and trolls, but instead thinking of my audience, all the lurkers, the silent majorities in the comments who are watching the discussion. I view what I'm doing as exposing what the hater, bot, troll is doing. You can write your own responses. Like a lot of things these days, I've got a ChatGPT project about it. All that screenshot content I mentioned to you before, the Movement Against Anti-Zionism's commentary and analysis of what anti-Zionist trolls are doing, like these, as well as educational things, not necessarily to post as a visual reply, but just more educational content from those creators like these. I fed it all into an AI project, and I literally named that project Libel Caller Outer. Now, before a few weeks ago, all I really was doing was using the pointing up emoji and just saying genocide libel, apartheid libel, land theft libel, colonizer libel. Now I'm kind of initiating a 3 or 4 volley structure where the first time, whatever my response is going to be, I like to name check the anti-Zionist or anti-Zionism hate movement. I like to frame what they're doing that way so that, remember, my audience, the silent majority lurkers, see, oh, anti-Zionist hate movement, what's that? I'm going to take you through an example here, one of my own examples. And you'll see how once I did that, they pivoted to something else. And then I used that. I made that work for me. And I said, see, once you call them out on this, they'll often pivot to that. Okay, then they continued again. Maybe they escalated, or maybe they tried again. And I'm never responding to them. Even though my reply by definition has to start with their username, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking about them. I'm holding them up to our gaze and scrutiny. And in the example I'm about to show you, it worked. Like, they backed off, I guess because it was not fun for them anymore. It might have stayed fun for them if they could see that they were getting under my skin and they were getting somewhere and I was reacting to them. But that's not what was happening. I was analyzing and making it a classroom and see, look what they're doing this, look what they're doing here. And that wasn't fun. And I guess they saw like, well, shit, I am being exposed. And like, I guess he's right. And they really have nothing once you show, the emperor has no clothes. All their libels, they're not achieving anything. They're certainly not right. And once you just don't react to it and point out what they're doing, they kind of shrivel up and get embarrassed and, go away. Not all the time, but even if this person continued, I might have moved on because I was just kind of done. It's like kind of like a mic drop moment. Okay, let's go look at this one. This is a recent video I made criticizing the 200 celebrities who came out in support of freeing a convicted terrorist who murdered 5 people. You can see their first comment is Marian, which I think is an autocorrect from Marwan Barghouti, the terrorist. Marwan has done nothing compared to what the leaders of Israel have done, and a military Israeli court is nothing but a kangaroo court with 99% conviction rate against Palestinians. Like, really? Like, where's his proof of that? Who live under a disgusting illegal military occupation. Don't talk about morals when you have no problem with collective punishment and a genocide. Well, there's some libel vomit in there, right? Genocide libel, occupation libel. You could really say kangaroo court libel. So I replied with, first of all, it's really growing on me, the flashlight emoji. And I did 3 of them, like shining a light on what he's doing, or could be what she's doing, or could be what they're doing. This is how the anti-Zionist hate movement operates. Unleash a stream of extreme claims to shut down thought and cast Israelis and Jews as moral monsters. It has nothing to do with helping Palestinians and everything to do with justifying hatred. People are finally starting to see this for what it is. So what I did there is I called out the libels and I named the anti-Zionist hate movement straight up, like I was saying. Now, I didn't come up with that all by myself. That was the result of my long-term input of all the sources I told you at the top of this video into ChatGPT, and then me screenshotting that person's comment and saying, give me a first response for this. I want it to name check the anti-Zionist hate movement, and I want it to call out the libels and such. And then chat will give me a reply. And based on the reply, I might like it and be like, perfect, and then copy paste it in there as my own. Or I might push back and say, not exactly, ChatGPT. Give me one that's a little bit more tone like this, or you forgot to mention this, or I said I wanted to start with this. You know, just be the director and help guide ChatGPT to give you the response that you actually want. So you'll notice, look at the reply to this guy. It begins with, this is how Zionists work. That's basically the bully just repeats what they said back to them. He's just trying to imitate my comment of this is how Zionists work. He has nothing original. He's just trying to parrot me and achieve frustration with me. He says, this is how Zionists work. Play the victim and voice a peaceful existence when they are literally backing the ethnic cleansing, libel, and terrorizing inversion of the West Bank. Red herring, we're not talking about the West Bank here. We're talking about convicted Marwan Barghouti, who was convicted of terror attacks inside Israel, with daily military incursions and Jewish settler violence. Libel, libel. Lolly, lolly, lolly. Get your adverbs here? Sorry. So I wrote back, again, with ChatGPT's help, this time the pointing up emoji, because I want to vary it. A lot of times I like to use flashlight as my first emoji for my first reply. If there's a second reply, I switch to the pointing up. And then if there's a third one, I like the popcorn emoji, which is like we're all just watching this unfold. So I wrote, one of the most predictable tells of the anti-Zionist hate movement is what you're seeing here, the instant inversion. They recycle whatever critique was made of their hostility and throw it back at Jews as if it originated with us. It's not conversation, it's mimicry, meant to hide the aggression behind their own rhetoric. Anyone watching can see the pattern. And you see everything I'm doing here. I'm not engaging the person. I am like being like a teacher in a classroom and pointing out the things they're doing. That's it. And I worked with ChatGPT to get that. And I didn't just screenshot it and say, ChatGPT, write my response. I screenshot it and said, ChatGPT, here's their response. I think they're doing this, that, and the other. Am I right? What do you see them doing? Help me write a response. And then, I collab with ChatGPT until I get a response I like. So then they wrote again, you are once again avoiding the root cause of the conflict, forced displacement of a people and ongoing illegal military occupation. Okay, so he's trying to school everyone on exactly what the root of the conflict is. And then 2 libels, forced displacement libel, or which could be like land theft libel, and ongoing illegal military occupation. So my reply, just as I said, starts with the popcorn emoji, because it's like, I'm not just shining the light, I'm not just pointing him. At this point, it's like, this is just hilarious, and I'm being entertained, is I guess what I'm saying. For the observers, : So I literally am saying, this is for the people watching, talking right over that guy, or ignoring that guy, or like he's irrelevant. Accusing someone of avoiding the root cause is a common diversion tactic meant to deflect from the hostility being exposed, like that I'm exposing. The behavior stands on its own. That's like the mic drop point. And you know what? That was it. The conversation ended. I wasn't fun. I wasn't responding to his bait or her bait or their bait. So I wasn't giving them the rise they hoped for, but I also was just embarrassing them. Like, why would they want to keep signing up for being eviscerated and being schooled? And it was not going well for them, Now there's another comment below, but this is a comment, someone else who's on our side answering that person directly. And I just did some emojis, which is the equivalent of this. telling them they're exactly right. So that's it. I guess I'm not going to screenshot all my work with ChatGPT. That could be an eventual third video if you want to see that. So I hope this is helpful. And if you don't have a ChatGPT account, that's okay. Or Gemini or Claude or any of the others. Maybe this is the push you need to get with the times and do that. Or you can do this yourself. Don't collab it with an AI. And you can do it yourself. But you can see here, it's like a 3-step process where I'm exposing them for what they're doing. When they try and redirect or try something different, I say, look, they just redirected and tried something different because I called them out on their bullshit up here. Now they're trying this. And then by the third one, you're kind of like, see, that's actually another emoji you could use, the yawning emoji. So did you think this was helpful? Ask your questions in the comments and let's keep going.